What is up guys, it's James from FishStakes and welcome back to the channel. We are back with a tutorial finally. Got a new tutorial on flight sim. And today what we're going to be looking at is the Cat 3 landing or the Category 3 landing. Now, before I start, I just want to say a big shout out to Bad Karma in our comment section. Because he's the one that actually suggested this and I did think it would be a good idea to make a video out of. So essentially your Cat 3 landing is a landing performed with the ILS systems that allows the plane to land itself. So it's an auto landing, typically used in zero visibility or really bad weather. Of course we've got clear skies today and we can see perfectly fine for the purposes of this tutorial, but that is when you'd normally use it. So if for some reason you don't want to take control of the plane yourself and land, or you're flying in poor visibility and you want to auto land, this is the video for you. We are currently flying into Helsinki, which is basically tutorial island at this point. I grabbed myself a few libraries from the store. So today we're on Scandinavian Airlines flight, or SAS as they're more commonly known, which is usually the flight that I take to Japan, or well, Manchester to Helsinki, then Helsinki to Japan. So I decided to go with that one. Basically, today I'm just going to be going over the Cat 3 landing. So if you're new to the channel or you're new to flight sim and you don't know how to perform an ILS landing, I will not be covering that in this video, but we do have a video on it. So if you know absolutely nothing about this process, then there's a link in the description for the ILS landing, and there's also a link in the description for how to set up an ILS flight plan. You'll need to do both of those before you can come and do this video. Both videos will be linked at the end of this video as well. So if you are new, go away, do those videos, and then come back to this one and I'll teach you how to do your Cat 3 landing. So as I said, we're just flying into Helsinki now. I will cut back when we're on approach to discuss the landing itself. So we're approaching our landing in Helsinki as normal. Again, we'll be using the magenta diamonds the exact same way we do our ILS landing, with our localizer and our approach buttons. Link in the description if you don't know exactly how to do that. And the A320 doesn't support Cat 3 exactly, but it is still possible to get it to auto land, which is what we're going to do today. So it can be a little bit buggy on flight sim. Sometimes it's a hard landing, sometimes it tries to land for the center of the runway, so I'm going to try and help it as much as possible by actually leaving it in just a regular ILS landing to begin with, and switch to Cat 3 as late as possible in order to get hopefully a smoother landing. But the important thing is it is possible to get this plane on the ground by itself. So that's what we'll be doing. So I'll probably cut back once we've got our glide slope and our localizer captured. But for now, I'm just enjoying the views of Helsinki. Okay guys, our approach mode is active, our localizer is active. You can see we've captured our localizer and our glide slope, and we're coming in for our landing exactly the same way as we did our ILS landing. The only difference is we're going to turn this hopefully into a Cat 3. 2,500, so I'm going to drop the landing gear. And then the only difference between the regular ILS landing and the Cat 3 is that we're going to hit AP2, and that's going to initiate our Category 3 landing, for landing the plane in low to zero visibility. And the plane should land itself. Now, like I said, the Airbus doesn't fully support it, and on this game it can be quite glitchy, but it does work. So I'm going to leave it quite late, because what I've found is that if you activate it early, the plane tries to land itself in the center of the runway, which obviously isn't great. Sometimes you can even end up overshooting the runway because of it, so I'm going to activate it a little later. So we are just waiting now basically to get in nice and close before I activate our AP2 switch. And once we do land, the only thing we need to be worried about is our thrusters. So once we're actually on the ground, we're just going to hit our reverse thrusters to slow the plane down. It will be a hard landing because it's just buggy on the game. It wouldn't be like that in real life with a Cat 3, but the game isn't perfect. But it is going to land, and that's the main thing. Okay, so as we're getting fairly close, I'm thinking about it. I see. I know the plane is going to aim for the center of the runway once I switch it, so I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. Let's hit our AP2.
400.
Okay, so I will not be disengaging autopilot. I will just be allowing the plane to land itself now. It's not going to flare. It's a bug in the game, so it is going to be a hard landing. But just get ready on your reverse thrusters, on your flight stick, or B on controller.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
And there we go, guys, we're on the ground. Reverse thrusters active. As I said, it was a hard landing, but as you can see, we're on the ground. The plane's landed itself. I did nothing there. And there's even our taxiway. So yeah, as perfect as it can be. And if you, of course, if you're in zero visibility or really, really bad weather and you just don't trust yourself, or you want the plane to land itself, you can do that. It is as simple as that, guys. So your regular ILS landing, and then as you're coming in on your approach, just hit your AP2 and you're good to go. And here we are at our hold short. Simple as that. Just like the ILS landing, but even less work for you to do. As I said, not the cleanest landing ever, but I think that can be updated in, obviously, future updates by Microsoft. Just before I do wrap up, I just want to show you a couple of other scenarios with the Cat 3 that I mentioned as we were doing this tutorial. So first of all, you might remember that I mentioned if you activate the AP2 too early, the plane tries to land itself in the middle of the runway, which is what you're about to see now. So basically, when I activated the AP2 in this video, I did it very late, almost as we were approaching the threshold of the runway. That way the plane didn't have a lot of room to maneuver. If you give it too much time, i.e. if you do it very early, which in real life should work, in this game, for whatever reason, as you can see now, the plane is aiming for the center of the runway. It almost is in danger of overshooting, and without your max auto brake on, you could be in danger, especially in a smaller airport with a smaller runway, of completely overshooting the landing, which is obviously hugely dangerous. So yeah, I don't know why this is a thing. It's definitely a bug in the game, which hopefully can get patched out, because you shouldn't have to do it so late. But right now, doing it late is the fix, and as you've seen already in this video, it does work. And to be honest, even this does work. Like you're gonna see now, we're approaching the ground. The plane is gonna land
40, 30,
any second.
20.
There we go. The plane did land. It's just we're already at the end of the runway. Like, we really do not have a lot of room to work with in terms of slowing the plane down and getting it off the runway. And in fact, you'll see in a second, once I did get it off the runway, there was even a plane waiting. So not ideal. I don't think ATC would have been too happy with the landing, but it was literally out of my hands. That is how the Autoland works if you opt to use it too early, I guess. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Activate it late, as I showed you in this video, to avoid this. So the next scenario I wanted to show the Cat 3 landing in action in is in low visibility. So we're currently on approach to Helsinki. It's nighttime. It's about 1:30 in the morning, and there is a storm, as you can see, which, by the way, in this game is really cool. Very atmospheric. Look at this. This is the business right here. So cool. But obviously, very poor visibility. So, gonna try and land this plane in it. Alright, we're on our approach. So, here's where things get real. We're still in a storm. Granted, visibility is a little bit better. There's a lot of ambient light from the buildings and the runway itself, but
2,500.
I don't control the weather. This is what we're landing in. 2,500. Better get that landing gear down. Here we go. So the plan is the same situation as last time, as we did it in the daytime. We're just going to leave it as long as possible before we hit that AP2, just to get a better landing. Alright, we're getting close. I'm going to get ready to hit that AP2.
500.
Over the threshold, I'm hitting the AP2.
300.
Ready on the auto throttle. Very limited visibility now, it's raining. It's dark as hell. We're over the threshold of the runway.
100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Reverse thrusters. Wet surface, but we're down. We have touchdown. And we have landed. So there you go, ladies and gents. There's your Cat 3 landing in the middle of a storm. We've touched down nice and safely. We can barely see anything, as you can see, so it does work. Just remember to do it late because there is that bug. But the main thing is it works. We're down. I mean, look at this weather. You can barely see a thing, and we've landed in it. Just wanted to take a second to appreciate that weather. Hard landing, bit of a hard landing, yes. Not the smoothest on the surface, but look at the amount of rain on the surface. I think for all its bugs, it's done a pretty good job. It's brought us down in limited visibility in the middle of a storm, and I'm pretty happy with that. So there's your Cat 3 in the dark. Back to past James. That'll be it for this video. So that's your Cat 3 landing. We're down on the ground in Helsinki. We didn't bounce or anything. So yeah, hard landing, but successful one. And that is, of course, the main thing. Again, any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Matare!